guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, 𝘕𝘠 Aesthetic, and today I am going to be reacting to your unpopular K-pop opinions. I don't know if these are going to be unpopular, but maybe they will. Let's see how crazy you guys are. Anyway, let's get started. First unpopular opinion is, I actually don't understand why people feel the need to clap back at haters in the K-pop community. Most of the comments these people make sound so childish and immature. This person is trying to get satisfaction from many people bashing them and such. Why respond to people that are probably more unhappy with their life than you are? They are not doing anyone, including themselves, a favor, so leaving obnoxious haters alone is the best option. Overall, my point is, people worry about the bad side of K-pop fandoms too much, and sometimes forget to enjoy the content that is being distributed. It's important to speak about the nasty side of the fandom, but just let people have some air. My gosh. I wholeheartedly agree with this opinion. As much as I think it's important to inform people when they get something wrong and they're being unnecessarily harsh, there are some people that you just have to remember they're going to hate. There are going to be trolls. And as much as, we don't like that, you just have to sometimes ignore, because that's the best thing to do. Because a lot of these people on the internet want your reaction. They want to see the toxic army or the toxic Blink or the toxic K-pop stan in general get angry so that they can talk about it with their friends at school or with their friends online and be like, they suck, look at this. So don't let it get to you too much and just enjoy the music, because at the end of the day, they're not as important as you think they are. The next opinion is, there is a difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation. I think this goes without saying. Yes, I definitely agree. This isn't even an opinion, that's just a fact. The third opinion is, people need to stop blaming companies for everything. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. For example, people are so quick to get upset over a member having less lines. But have you considered that their voice doesn't suit certain parts, like Anda and Adios? Or that they just prefer having less lines? Now, I think this one is just something people need to talk more about. And I'll give an even more specific example of this. Remember that time where everything Blackpink did was scrutinized to the gods? It still happens now, but when it was really popping off in 2018, 2019, I remember people would be like, who are Blackpink's stylists? Because they are being so unfair to Lisa, Rose, and Jisoo, because Jennie only gets the good outfits. But then in the Blackpink documentary, we found out that all of them kind of help pick out their outfits, and that it wasn't just the stylist being favoritism towards Jennie, and that it was actually the girls liked the outfits they were getting. I think people just need to start understanding that not everything the company's fault, and sometimes there are things that are put in place because either the idol can't sing that part correctly, or the idol actually likes what's going on and they don't see it as a problem. So I think people really need to hop off the anti-company train and hop onto the objective criticism train. So these three opinions are, LOONA and Dreamcatcher aren't underrated, stop calling them that. If my opinion makes it into the video, then I want y'all to stand very good. You got that? First of all, yes, I agree with the first opinion. LOONA and Dreamcatcher aren't underrated at this point. I don't know who needs to hear it, but I promise you, they aren't underrated. And I do not know of Very Good, but I will search them up, and hopefully people watching this video search them up, and if you like them, I hope you stand. The next opinion is people never talk about NCT's music. People are either talking about their looks or their humor. I actually agree. I feel like NCT, whenever I hear them being talked about on social media, it's usually because of their looks or how funny they are, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I do think their music should be looked at a little bit more. Although, I would say, when it comes to NCT's music, it's very much hit or miss. So a lot of the times people don't necessarily like their music, but they do appreciate their personalities and looks, which, depending on who you talk to, that could be a good or bad thing. The next opinion is, I find Money to be a better track than 𝘴𝘆. I full-heartedly disagree. I find Money extremely hard to listen to. I don't know why, but I just can't take the song seriously, and it either makes me laugh or I just, can't listen to it. 𝘴𝘆, while I'm not a huge fan of the song, I find it very catchy at some points. At other points, not so much, but I definitely can see why 𝘴𝘆 was chosen as the title track and Money wasn't, because I just feel like Money is very much B-side material, which is why it's a B-side. This opinion says people should stop shitting on TXT, saying their music is bad because they provide the best quality music, whole albums, in K-pop industry. Call me exaggerating or whatever, but it's a fact, and people like to overshadow it with hating them, and obviously MOAs don't stream, so we don't even have views, which in others' views make their music look bad. I agree. I mean, even if TXT didn't have great music, they still shouldn't be getting hate because they haven't done anything wrong. Like, did they kill your family or something? Why are you hating them so much? But anyway, I could be clouded because I am a MOA myself, but I do think even if music taste is subjective, on an objective level, I do like the production quality of TXT's music, and I think it's actually really good. And out of all the HYBE artists right now, I think they're doing really well music-wise. So I think people should appreciate their music more. They don't have to like it. They don't have to like it, but appreciate it for what it is. Third-gen groups that were popular had more diverse concepts and sound than fourth-gen groups that are popular, is the next opinion. I don't agree. I don't. Now that I thought about it, I had to pause the recording and think about it. I don't really agree necessarily, because the only groups that I can think about that really went back and forth and changed up their concepts was BTS and Red Velvet, and from what I saw, it's not like they changed it completely. They just go from kind of serious, dark concepts to light and airy concepts. Other than that, the big groups like TWICE and GOT7 and Blackpink, like big groups, I didn't really see them changing their concepts a lot. And a lot of the times, third-gen groups would get hate for not switching it up. It's not really until right now, when third-gen groups are getting older, that they're switching up their concepts a lot more. Like, TWICE kind of switched up their concept, but they stayed consistent with that cute one all throughout their first, 5 years. And Blackpink the same. So I disagree. I think K-tubers should stop criticizing idols too much. It sounds like hate now. I agree. As much as I think that criticism is something that everyone needs, I feel like there are too many K-tubers who feel comfortable criticizing idols, and it's blatantly just hate. There's a way to criticize idols. Just like I said in my last video, there's a way to show distaste or dislike for an idol. There's a way to express criticism towards an idol in their dancing or whatever. But you need to do it tastefully, because on this app where you have maybe thousands of subscribers or even 100, what you say can influence them. And if you go around saying the same old thing, like it was YouTubers who really started the whole Jenny was lazy thing, when it could have just been easy criticism. We didn't have to go as far as to say Jenny was lazy. You could have said, oh, Jenny's not dancing towards her best right now. I wonder what's going on. But it went from that to now Jenny is lazy. And that was considered criticism in the eyes of a lot of K-tubers, which caused massive hate towards Jenny. Of course, that's not the only thing, but that was a huge role that K-tubers played in the crusade to hate on Jenny. And what happened? It turned out she was sick. So I feel like a lot of K-tubers need to understand that, yes, you have a platform that you can criticize idols because it's a public platform and you have the right to speak your mind. But remember that you have a platform. You have just that, a platform where people can be influenced by you. So make sure that whatever you say is in taste, in good taste, so that these idols don't get hate because a bunch of people who follow you saw your video blasting hate comments about them and labeling it as criticism, because a lot of them will go on to kind of spread that criticism. The two opinions I have here is, one, 𝘕𝘰 are in a position to be the top 3 4th gen groups if 𝘖𝘕 plays their cards right. And number 2 is the K-pop community will get more toxic because more young, impressionable, and sensitive children are getting on to social media. Don't get me wrong, there are many immature adults out there as well. For opinion number 1, I don't really agree. Now, that doesn't mean I think 𝘕𝘰 will fade into dust, but I don't see them being like one of the top 3 K-pop groups in the 4th gen, maybe top 3 girl groups, but I don't know top 3 groups in general. I feel like in terms of 4th gen, 𝘕𝘰 will be like the G-friend of the 4th gen, because their music is really good and I think a lot of people like it, but I don't see them getting the streams and all of that the bigger groups get. I feel like the big groups of the 3rd gen are very much already solidified and you can see it forming right now as we speak. But these groups that are also getting their own little successes, I think they won't fade into oblivion and we won't remember them. 𝘕𝘰 definitely isn't going anywhere and they're definitely going to grow, but right now I just don't see them as being in the top 3. And for opinion number 2, I think this is just inevitable. Things get more toxic as time goes on. Maybe there will be one day where the K-pop community just matures crazily, but I doubt that because there's always new people coming in. Not exactly young people, but just people in general. And like I said in the last video, a lot of the times these newer people just don't know who to watch and what to get their information from, so they get their information and they listen to a lot of toxic people on the internet who talk about K-pop, and it happens to make them also become toxic. But I think that's just kind of a cycle that happens in this K-pop fandom. People leave, then people come in, and those people kind of start out as a little toxic, and then they become mature, and then they leave, and then it comes around in a circle, you know? Next opinion is Girls Planet 999, biggest flop ever. Oh my gosh. I agree. For some reason, when it comes to the trainees, I feel like there's a big drop in talent. Like, Produce 101 or Produce 48, I just feel like the talent was really there and you could truly see it. And I'm not saying Girls Planet 99 trainees aren't talented, because that would be lies, but I just feel like the pizzazz and like the wow talent that you saw from the Produce series is not in Girls Planet 999. I also just feel very underwhelmed by everything, like crazily underwhelmed. And I honestly don't really care who's gonna be in the group like I did in Produce. And I also don't really feel anything about it like I did in Produce. Next opinion is, I really love Aespa's music, but I hate that AI concept. I agree. I do like Next Level at least, but that AI concept, I just don't care for it. It's interesting, but it's not interesting enough to make me fall in love with the group. Although I do like some of their concept photos, and the new album's concept photos look really cool, so. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I will definitely be making a part 2 with these opinions because there are a lot more, and obviously making a whole, like, I don't know, 30-minute, 1-hour opinion video, I just don't think I'm as entertaining to do that. So I'll definitely make a part 2. Also, thank you for 600 subscribers. Like, that's crazy. I had 500 literally on Sunday, and it's Saturday when I'm recording this, and now I have 600. Like, wow. Anyway, like, subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. And also, just do well in whatever you're doing. School, work, I don't care. Do well. Stay sunny.